Just echoing some of the remarks of Mr. Rees, we seem to have a problem, of course, in which we see greater instability, greater volatility in the world system. Winston Churchill was once fond of saying that the United States always did the right thing. He would then, with a long pause, finally commit to the statement after exhausting all other options. My concern is that today the United States will no longer do the right thing even after exhausting all other options. In part, this is a result of there being no Soviet Union. In part, this is a result of there being no Soviet Union. Whatever the Soviet Union was, or whatever one may think of it, for a period of time, it presented an alternative to the United States. And in so doing, it mostly made the United States behave better. Mostly, not always. For instance, we see a tendency in capitalism over time to go towards increasing financialization. This was checked to a certain extent, this tendency, by the existence of a Soviet alternative. And during this period, the United States used the power of government to turn that natural tendency artificially towards a real economy with real production and a more stable middle class being created and a more stable society being created. This was not something that the powerful particularly enjoyed doing. But were forced to do, both because of protests at home and because of an alternative model outside. Now, since the Soviet Union has disappeared, we see a return of capitalism's natural tendency towards financialization. And with it, an increasing tendency towards financial collapses, and they are increasing not only in frequency, but in strength. Meanwhile, the middle classes of what we used to call the first world and the second world are increasingly asked to bear the costs. We see an economy that has been constructed in which their standards of living are often declining, or if they can maintain those standards of living, they can only do so with credit and debt, which must ultimately collapse. Debts cannot just continue to increase exponentially, unendingly. Governments around the world are in crisis because of tax dumping, tax evasion. Thus, the middle class throughout the world is further under assault.
და შუა ფენა მოსახლეობის ეს ყველაფერი ახდენს მათზე გავლენას.
That social services are no longer available.
და სოციალური სერვისებიც აღარ არის ხელმისაწვდომი.
Governments have, on one level, continued to pay their bills through privatizations.
და მთავრობებს სურთ რომ ეს სიტუაცია გამოასწორონ, აღარ იყოს მსგავსი სიტუაცია.
Margaret Thatcher was fond of saying that under socialism, eventually you run out of other people's money.
და მარგარეტ თეჩერმა აღნიშნა რომ ფაქტია რომ ხალხს ჭირდება თანხები, ფული.
But under privatizations, eventually you run out of things to sell.
მაგრამ პრივატიზაციას აუცილებელია.
And so we find ourselves in this dilemma of a new age in which there is, again, increasing volatility because of financialism.
ფინანსურობის გაზეთის აუცილებელია გადასახადების მომატება.
The middle class cannot sustain itself under the logic of the system in which wages are stagnant or declining.
იმის კეთიდან გამომდინარე რომ ხელფასები შემცირებულია, საშუალო ფენას უკვე აღარ შეუძლია გადასახადების გადახდა.
Tax evasion leads to the starvation of the state and its services.
და გადასახადების მომატება გამოიწვია სიტუაციის გაუარესება.
And increasingly, we see a turn towards further internationalization of the economy, but without national development.
და ახალ გამოიწვია ეკონომიკური დეფიციტი, მაგრამ რაც შეეხება ეროვნულ განვითარებას, ეროვნულ საკითხებს.
And so these are the challenges that we've been brought together to discuss and to hopefully find alternatives to.